Welcome back to While You're In There. So I'm gonna get these pistons out now. I dropped one of them already. I'll show you the process how I did it because I got 5 more to go here. But I noticed on these the crank bearing caps, they are numbered. There's one there. There's number 2. I know it's not easy to see through the camera here, but 3, and they are all labeled all the way down till the last one. But that's the rear main seal. Uh, so your crank bearing caps are all numbered. Piston caps are not. I had a little stamp set, like right there. You can see I put number 2 in it. That one's 3, 4, 5 is up. You can see it good. So, but if you don't have a stamp set, I've done it before where I just sharpen a screwdriver to a real fine tip, like almost like a needle, and just punch dots in it. By the time you get to, make it look like a dice pattern, just real close together, only in one small area. And I do it on one side of the. I'll put them all on one side of the block, so I know which side of this cap goes which way. So that is what passenger side I put all my numbers. Then all you really need to do is take these off right here. They're 1/2 inch. The cap is pretty thick. It's like that. The first one I had hit it with a hammer on both sides a couple times to get it to pop off, and pretty much this piston just fell out. So I'll show you the process I'm doing it here. I'll set you here and zoom in, and I'll do one, and then I'll come back and I'll zoom out and put it at the camera at a lower level so you can see what I'm doing with my other hand. It won't zoom in no more. I thought that it would. Okay, so 1/2 inch on them nuts. I'm going to do it evenly on both sides a little bit each nut. So it comes all the way loose like that. Now, I did have a carbon ridge at the top of these cylinders, but it's not bad. And these popped right out. The other one almost fell out on its own. There are ridges there, but they're tiny. And I'm not worried about breaking these pistons because they're all being replaced. I'm kind of like pulling up on the thing as I'm tapping it. Last one wasn't that tough, but it is coming up. It's just being a bugger. Kind of get an upswing on it a little bit. There it goes. I'm just going to set this down. Whoops. Good thing I numbered it because I don't know which way it spun. The bearing cap's stuck on there. I mean, rod bearing rather. It doesn't look bad. Well, except for my greasy fingerprint on it now. But they don't look really bad. The first one didn't either. I didn't see no lines, no score marks. I do want to protect these journals on the crank. So I had some vacuum line hose laying around here, and I'm just slipping these over the ends of the bolts just till I get past that crank journal. So just kind of just hit it down. I'm past the crank, so I can pull the hoses off. And I'm stuck on a little bit of the ridge. It's already coming out through. One of the piston rings are stuck on the ridge. Okay. There it goes. The other bearing's wanting to fall right off. That one's got some wear on it. That's it. Your piston's out. Take your cap, put the cap back on it. I'm putting them back on the same direction they came off. You gotta put them back on that way. A reassembly. Tighten your nuts all the way down, finger tight. And I'm going to send these with the block to the machine shop. They have them press the new pins in for the new piston heads. I didn't see anything wrong with that first piston. Oh, this one. This one was rubbing though. It's got some nasty wear on the side. I can feel a little step right here. Yeah. Wasn't cracked or nothing. But not in the best of shape either. Alright, this is piston number 2. So I'm turning the crank like this to get them at the top and in the center for each one that I'm working on. After this, we're really close to being done. Sending this off to the machine shop. It's just the crank and the plugs. That is all that's left. And then just the same process as before. I'm going to set these bearings down. I'll move the camera here in a second. As soon as I pop this cap off of it, to explain something. Before I started taking any of these off, I went with feeler gauges and I'll grab the camera, show you close. But I'm checking for the end play on the connecting rod arms. And what they mean by that is right here. That side-to-side movement. One of these were worse than the other. But you can hear it kind of clicking down there. I can't hold the camera steady enough. So I got my feeler gauges out and I shoved it in between there. You're allowed 10 to 18 thousandths. And the worst one that I found was about 13. So the the connecting arms rods are still good. Thankfully, I'm spinning a ton of this already. So we'll do this angle for a minute on this next one. That's my heater going. It's pretty cold here tonight. It's about 16 degrees outside. I got it 70 degrees in the garage. off. The bearing is still laying on the journal. That one's stuck. It's coming out crooked this way. A longer handle. This one must have had more of a ridge on it. Jammed in there. There it goes, it just fell. Alright. That's piston number 3. It's got some good wear on it. See this here? Whoop. This, like, I can feel that little step there. And these walls are very thin. See how thin that is? And that's what broke off on the number 5. So that's number 3 piston. Put all your parts back together right away. I would. Push bolts back on. I go down all the way tight, or finger tight, all the way down. That way that bearing cap isn't rattling around up there. Let's keep on going down the line. I got 3 more to go. I'll keep going with this if you want to keep watching. But after I get these last 3 out, I'm going to end the video there and take a little break. And then I'll come back and we'll do the crankshaft. And we'll get that out there. So we're moving right along. This did not take very long to strip this down. I'm pretty much doing these videos in real time. Some things I got to do off camera, like stamping these things, using the feeler gauge. Bolts in the way. Oops. Oil pump bolt that I left there. My back's getting stiff. Just gotta keep working at them. It moves, just very little. It's getting looser. There it goes. Okay. The bearing is still on there. Pull it out. Alright, put these hoses on. I lost one down in there. Okay. Alright, and push it on down. I'm gonna center this better. Like that. Okay. Now you see, I'm just using my hand for this. And it's moving. There it goes, piston just dropped. Take these hoses off. So I'm already past the crank. I didn't even have to tap on that one. Not bad. So the ridge wasn't that bad on that one. This one kind of looks the same as the other ones. Exactly the same, really. But this next one is the one that's broken. But let me put this cap back on this one first. Put the screws back on it. Or the bolt nuts, rather. Set it down. Alright, let's get to the broken one. Let's see how bad it is. Turn the crank. Oops. Old bearings are garbage. Alright, get that to the top so I can work with it easier. And grab the ratchet that I just had and lost. There it is. Alright. Oops. Wish the rest of it was that easy coming out. Just a couple light taps like that. Well, the last one kind of was. Whoops. Alright, it's on the piston itself. Okay. Oh, cap. Here, change the angle here. Maybe I'll zoom in a little bit here. I think my hands are too greasy. It won't let me zoom in. The screen doesn't like me touching it. That's very odd. That hasn't happened yet to me. Well, that sucks. I can't zoom in. Alright. Let's get this broken one out. And I'll bring it to the camera. There we go. The hoses. Well, the bearing is still on there. Try not scratching that crank journal either when you're pulling them bearings off. Just be gentle. Got the hoses on, just start tapping it down. This one has my nut inside of it too. And it fell. Pull my hoses off. Again. Okay, it's stuck on the ridge again like one of the other ones. So I'm going to have to tap this one out. Oh, nope, it dropped. Okay. Here's the broken one. The whole side of it come off. Right in that wear pattern where it was on this side here. It's got like a nice square wear pattern here. It's right where it broke. Surprised only one side of it is broken, really. Thought they both would be. You can just see how thin that metal is. It's not very thick. And it's thinner as it gets down to the bottom. I think it thins out. So that's my broken piston. Alright, there's one more to go. I'll try to do it quickly. Do I have enough time? Let's see. Maybe. If you're still sticking around to watch, I'll do another one. These do go on a certain way. You'll see on the inside there's two square cuts. The two square cuts go together. You'll see what I'm talking about once you're looking at it. The heater's kicking on, I can hear it, so it's going to get loud. Just set that aside. Go on to the next one. Doing the same process. Get to the top. Off. Get your bearing out of there. Doesn't look bad. Hoses. Get the dirt off of them. You don't want the dirt sliding on the journal. Start hitting up. Dropped. gonna need some persuasion. There it goes. Didn't take much of a hit to get that loose. It ain't broken. Just to show you something, there's a square. See the square cut? It's right. You can see it there, the square right here. And it comes down inside of here a little bit. And it's got the same thing on this end here. So those go together. Like if you get mixed up, you know, oh crap, I spun the piston, which way does it go? The square cuts go on the same side. Alright, that's your pistons removal. Nice and easy, it wasn't hard at all. Stick with me for 1 second. I'm going to go and turn that heat off, come back and close this up. Whew, it is a cold night in February here in Ohio. Just show you what we got left to do here. Not much at all. There's not a whole lot to these engines, these 4.0s. You can see the piston holes going all the way through. All we got left is these cap bolts here, and we're lifting the crank out. We only had to stamp or put labels on this because it's already stamped for us. And then after that, I'm just popping these plugs out. There's a few on the side. One here for oil gallery. A couple more plugs over here, I believe. I just don't know where they're at yet. I can't see on the shadow side. And we're going to ship this off to the machine shop. And when it gets back, we'll start reassembling soon. But the next video is going to be a crank removal. So please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Just while you're in there,